So to continue off what I was talking about, we need a true people's energy, and now it's finally starting to happen. Um, Again, I'm not going to agree in lockstep with everything in these groups. I mean, I'm not officially assigned. I'm not officially affiliated with DSA. I've been on the fence of joining it because I kind of see that's where their energy's going now, and to say I agree with him on everything, though, that would be a high bar. I'm not quite sure if I agree with him on every single policy. And that's why I've been on the fence because, yes, I do want to steer this party to the left. I do want to be having more progressive representation, just more populist in general, just people that are not the culture of Washington, if you know what I mean. Just not the culture of the institution. Like, there's a point where I feel like the institution of Washington corrupts everybody. It does something to people, especially when they've been there for so long. Like, they just completely grow out of touch with the real world. They grow out of touch with their constituency. They start thinking inside some elite bubble. And not to say they're all evil people. Some of these could be well-intended people, but they're just in this culture of corruption, in this culture of DC, in this culture. It does something to people after a while. And that's why I also believe in term limits. That way we avoid this problem. Aside from them also dying in office, which is obviously a problem. I don't think we should want to see people in office until they die. Like, come on. There's a point where we got to stop voting for the same people over and over. But we are going to see a lot of alliances, though I think they're unlikely. And again, I've even seen some people on the right who are waking up to what's going on with this government. And again, you may find unlikely allies you don't agree with on everything. It takes a lot of political evolution and years of watching so much happen that starts changing your point of view in the world, your worldview. I couldn't tell you that what I believe today was the same as what I believed 10 years ago. It's, we all evolve over time, I'd like to believe. I used to always hear the joke, though, the older I would get, the more conservative I would get. The less left-leaning liberal I would be, which couldn't be further from the truth. I've become more progressive over the years than I was 10 years ago in my 41 years of age. Like, at 31, I was slowly evolving to the left. I was just I just grew up as a lifelong traditional Democrat. I was a Kool-Aid drinking MSNBC Democrat. Okay, I watched wall to wall mainstream media. This is when I was in my 20s. Okay. And obviously, Republicans were big and bad and evil, and Democrats were wonderful. I believe that, partisan mindset without looking outside the bubble. But, you know, propaganda does that to people, media does that to people. If you don't watch anything outside of corporate media, it does something to the brain. It perpetuates you in propaganda all the time. Propaganda and echo chamber. So, you never see what's flawed about the party you're affiliated with. And you think every decision they make is well and well intentioned. And you think the other side's just evil by nature. And everything's because of the opposition all the time. It's never because of the failure of your own party's leadership. Now, things have changed a lot over the years, obviously. And the 10 years Donald Trump has been in the mix, I'm just going to be honest here, he shook up a lot. Because remember, when he first got elected when I was 31, That was in 2016. Okay. He served 4 full years. Okay. Got him chucked out in 2020 to go back to the status quo, which is what we did. But he was still in the media. He was still in the mix. The Republican Party was still reminiscent of Donald Trump. So you only knew where this was going to go at this point. And the Democratic Party went back to the way it always was. And 2024 rolled around. And here comes Donald Trump back in office once again to serve another 4 years. So here we are again. Counting right now. 10 years. I'm 41 now. It's 2026. Now, I also knew MAGA was going to have its time, and it was going to pretty much expire this year, and you're starting to see it happen. Because the leader of that cult is technically flailing and failing the whole country. So that was just going to become a reality, and he's getting old. Let's just be honest. He's sunsetting in front of us. Okay, it happens. It happens. It's called nature. It happens. We all get old. And when we get to that point, we should not be sitting in the White House making decisions for the whole country. I'm just going to be honest here. But yeah, that's just the reality. And, you know, this was going to have an expiration date, as you see, and it's starting to happen. But politics have changed a lot since then. And I knew there was only going to be a reckoning on the left, too. Eventually, you know, Democratic voters were going to wake up, want a different kind of energy, and effectively revolt against the leadership of their party, which is finally starting to happen. It took a long time, but it's happening now. Now I'm hearing all these slogans of people saying Bernie was right. And these are a lot of people that voted for Clinton and Biden. I met a lot of Democrats that used to be hardcore, normie Democrats who thought Bernie was just a rebel rouser. Now it turns out they're on the same page with Bernie now, and they're outraged by the lies that have been pushed down their throat for so many years. But the thing is, it was 2016 when I first awakened to the reality. We were being denied the potential of what our country can be and what we can truly have as a country. And a country should take care of its people. And America has failed to do that for so freaking long. Okay? They just have. And it took Bernie's 2016 run for me to wake up and see that. And believe it or not, God bless my grandma, God bless her soul, she passed away 4 years ago. She was 91. Well, she was 90, turning 91. But even she loved Bernie Sanders. And she wasn't exactly a spring chicken. She was a baby boomer. Late stage baby boomer. So even she saw in her old age, in her older generation, who majority of her generation is pretty conservative now, okay, even she saw what this country was lacking. And she saw this guy's speech, and she realized that's the guy who should run for president. It shocked me that she saw that clarity, because I wasn't even certain at the time. You know, but when it came to politics, she was a very good judge of character. You know, so yeah. But I'm going to go further discussing this in my video. Anyways, y'all, you have a great night. Love y'all. Goodbye.